Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. So, those of you who were with me in the live just a few minutes ago, I apologize. My pup was really busy protecting all of us. And so I just stopped the video and I said I would do it, the second half as a part two. But what I actually thought is rather than put you guys through any dog barks at all, I will just recap part one briefly and then we'll just continue on with the story. Now, for those of you who would like to see the original segment of these card pulls, I put the free link to that first video there in the description box. Just be aware that my doggy started barking at the end for probably like almost the last full minute of it. And he was in another room at the other end of the house, but I still just felt like it was disruptive. So, hi, guys. Thank you so much for being so kind. So, a quick recap. How we began this single storyline is somebody is feeling pretty blessed. Somebody is perhaps coming around to a new way of understanding their life. I was suggesting that maybe we have a character who's lived a good chunk of their life. Maybe they've been married, divorced, maybe they've fallen in love, fallen out of love, maybe they've had successes and failures. And what they've learned is they actually have a lot of confidence and a lot of personal conviction in what their life is now made up of. And we kept seeing this open book. And that's what made me think that this is a character feeling kind of excited because they know that they've gained a lot of wisdom and they still have a whole nother half of their life to live. And I was suggesting that we had kind of almost like tears of relief that our character is expressing right now, because it's like, I can't believe this. Everything that I went through, all the pressure, all the intensity, it's led me to being the person that I am at this point. And we had a real tip of the hat to the quartz crystals here. I don't know if somebody wears a quartz crystal or if this is just a nice metaphor for their like shift in their own personal vibration. But our character is getting kind of excited about new interests, new hobbies, the way their life might take a new shape. And the big picture here was, I think our character is in a time of ascension in their own life. They are maybe feeling like their crown chakra is opening up more. They're understanding like the divine within them a lot better at this point. But we see them rising to some kind of status of comfort in their life, some kind of abundance in their life, but also possibly some kind of like success in their life. And as they seem to be rising, and possibly this could even be somebody who's gaining a certain amount of stardom, we have somebody observing them. And cue Aries barking now. No, he's in here and napping now. But this is where I stopped because the barking was loud. So we've got, and we're just getting juicy because I'm like, who's the watcher? Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. The fact that we have this Seven of Pentacles, this is getting exciting. Okay, so we have somebody who's watching our character, our single individual, and they really like what they see. They like the balanced energy. They admire this person. They see, I'm going to say her just because we have a feminine here. And this could be a masculine who's been watching this feminine. Please be mindful. I don't actually read for genders. This could be either or. It could be same sex. Doesn't matter. But he watches her, we'll say, in this storyline. And he's very much aware that she is somebody who, in his mind, she's already elevated. Maybe she's a business owner. Maybe she does something where she's in somewhat of the public eye. Maybe she sells jams and jellies at the local farmer's market or her cut flowers or something. Maybe she just represents something else. Or maybe she's just somebody who comes across as a really stable individual. I don't know if he met her at a tailgating party or if he met her at her place of business or something, but he sees her as his Four of Wands, somebody that usually this is about love. She comes across as very single and excited, like taking back her life, feeling like she still has a whole new chapters to live. Like I said, maybe she's been married and divorced. Maybe she's had, experiences that almost feel like they happened to somebody else because it was such a different life for her back then. But who she is today is somebody who's really feeling empowered, really embracing where her life is going. So I will say whoever has been watching her, they've already thought that of her for a long time, maybe longer than she thought that of herself, because he's been watching for a while. So let's focus in on whoever the Watcher is. It's nice because he has a lot of like good emotions toward her, and he wants to talk to her. He's got the 8 of Wands. Good for him. He could be a Sagittarius, doesn't have to be. He could also be a Virgo, a Capricorn, or a Taurus. She could be an earth sign as well. We did start out with Taurus in that, but we also have strong Aquarius here for her. But pretty much most things are being represented here. Not so much in the air family, other than that Aquarius, though. We've got more earth, fire, and cup energy. Okay, so Knight of Pentacles. He's not approaching her yet. He hasn't yet, and he still isn't. But he's slowly gravitating her way. This is a slow-moving knight. But you notice his entire forehead. First off, he has a really high forehead, and it's very tattooed in kind of the tree of life. And it feels to me like this is, he doesn't actually have to have a face tattoo, but more along the lines of, I think this is a very intelligent man. I think this is somebody who's a really deep thinker. And I think he knows when he sees something that he believes is on his path, that like there's this belief that she belongs in his life. She is part of his tree of life. She is one of those branches. Well, trees take time to put down roots. And he's not holding back because he's hesitant. He's not holding back because of fear. He's not holding back because of uncertainty. He's actually just saying, there's a time for this to happen. Let me ask, why are you moving slowly? Not like he has to move fast, but I'm just curious because I think he's a man who has his reasons. We've got the 10 of Wands here. You know, it's interesting. It's almost like he's known that maybe there's been either he's been dealing with something or she's been dealing with something. There's burdens to lay down first. You know, it kind of like, let's put it this way. If you're going to go and ask somebody out on a date, but all your clothes are dirty, you're probably going to wait until you get your clothes washed and you have time to shower, just because you want to approach, you know, when you're in clean clothes and it's not the sweaty end of your workday and stuff. And I feel like that's the metaphor for this, or that's the analogy for this, rather. It's when he likes what he sees in the mirror. And I'm talking about like when he feels like he's put his life in order. But he could also be saying when he recognizes that she has had enough time to like get her energy sifted out also. And I suggest that like he would be intuitive enough to know when is the right time to make a move for her, toward her, because of that tattoo on his, you know, from the third eye all the way up the forehead. 7 of Pentacles. Once again, there's this element of patience and time and putting down roots. As you're watching her, what do you see in her that makes you so sure that she's the one for you? 3 of Wands. Sometimes it's hard to put anybody's finger on what it is that makes somebody know that that's part of his future. He could be a bit of a mystic. He could just be somebody who just knows. It's like, I don't have to question. I see it. And I see it. I know it. That there's not any question. It's part of my future. And I already know that this is happening, which is kind of uncanny because usually we have to go out and make things happen. And he might be saying, yeah, I know when the time is right, it will somehow fall into place. I will make things happen. But for right now, he still watches. I do think he's been pretty sensitive to the past, to the fact that in her path, that's a tongue twister for me. Fact and path can't go in the same sentence, apparently. But he knows that she's gone through some time of distress. He's seen it on her. He's felt it in her. And I would argue that we probably saw that, you know, with all these positive changes that she's going through. Look, if you already felt freaking amazing, you probably wouldn't be having these massive, you know, changes, right? Because it would be status quo. It's like, I've been amazing. I'm still amazing. Everything's amazing. So I'm going to say that he's probably spot on, because now she feels so much better about herself and her life and where things are going. But that would imply that at one point she didn't feel that way. So I do think that he's noticed, watched her, seen her like evolve, didn't like get in her way while she was doing that. But I'm wondering if it's also he understood it and recognized it because it's something he himself had been doing as well. You know, kind of like game recognize game. On the other hand, wounds recognize wounds sometimes too. So he looks at her and he sees a future when he looks at her. What is it about her? Can we get any more specific? I know we kind of already tried and we just got 3 of Wands, like, she's just my future. I just know it. 6 of Wands, he likes something about her confidence. Okay, so I don't know if he's seen her stand tall against people that would push back. Maybe he's seen a sense of self-assertiveness in her in the face of, like, even the way she maybe expresses herself, expresses her opinions, even if they're unpopular opinions, there's an element of, you know, there will always be people that either try to tear you down or, you know, group gang activity that have like, when people gang up and they all want to razz you all at once. And she might just have been like, not really my problem when other people think of me. There's some element of her holding her head high and keeping herself in, like, there's a lot to be said for somebody who knows themselves well enough to stand against the tide. That's hard to do. This is one of the reasons he's like, yeah, it's my kind of person. I see her as my 4 of Wands. I see her as somebody who stands for something. I see her as somebody who is going to do it her way. He does see a bit of a stubborn streak, a bit of a proud streak, but the right kind of proud and stubborn, because you've got to be able to hold your own in this world. And it sucks and it's hard to do, but you do have to hold your own. And it kind of comes across like, that's one of the things he just witnessed in her already. He's seen she's got a backbone. And I think he likes it a lot. Because I think he's realizing she'll like that about me too. There's something here. I kind of feel like a streak of profound independence coming from both of them. And I think that's the recognition and the admiration. Like, good on you. You got your own thoughts, your own mind, your own opinions. Okay. So how does he eventually approach her, or what is to come of this? Ace of Wands. It'll make sense when the time is right. We've got our Black Panther up overhead here, and this Ace of Wands shows us that there's a spark, there's fire, there's passion. This can be a huge creative spark. Maybe she inspires him somehow. Maybe I don't know if he's artistic at all. His passion for her may be increasing, but I also feel like it's possible that she's a bit of his muse. I don't know why I would say that other than that creative spark. 2 of Pentacles. If she is somewhat of a muse for him, then I feel like it's only a matter of time before he's going to feel like he needs to like tell her that or thank her or something, even though I think it's unbeknownst to her. That 2 of Pentacles is the balance. Now, I will say this is also a very feminine energy, very, very, very much about feminine sensuality as well. And this is about intense masculine sensuality. That's another way to interpret those 2 cards. Only in this deck. It's not typical. It's only because of the images on this deck, by the way. So I'm wondering if that energy of like raw passion, desire, the knowing that this is the person I'm supposed to go toward. I think at some point that basic instinct is possibly going to get the better of him. That's going to be what actually drives him forward. It hasn't happened yet. This is somewhere in the next 3 days to 3 months is always how I look at this. But it is going to be the primitive drive, the passionate, the desire for some kind of, sensual interaction. But I still feel like this connection it's based on like looking at a character, looking at somebody that they like who she is first. She's liking the way her life is going as well. But we definitely have an admirer who will be stepping forward at some point here. We have the Death card. This kind of feels like the Death card is always about a resurrection of something. It can be about an ending with a new beginning. Because we have that 10 of Wands as, you know, part of the reason that there's been like a waiting period. I don't know where the heck that card went. I think it was over here. But that 10 of Wands was a part of this waiting period. I'm thinking that, I have no idea where that card went, that's going to be part of that completion when it no longer matters, or when passion overrides the, you know, like it's not maybe quite the right time. There's still a little bit more laundry to be done. At some point it's going to be like, nah, no more waiting here. What is our feminine going to think? Because I don't think he has stepped toward her. I don't even know that she knows he's got an eye on her. So this could be a bit of a shocker for her. We've got this Knight of Wands. So she might be like, damn, who's the hottie? This is exciting. This is passionate. 3 of Wands. I think she's going to real quickly be like, how did you get interested in me? I think it's either he's going to slip up real quickly and she's going to recognize there's no way that you just randomly passed me by the street and then decided to reach out to me. I think she's going to know pretty quickly he had to have been like casing me. You know, he had to have been paying attention to me. But you notice how there's a spiritual side to this as well. He's got a bluebird. Oh, Sabrina, thank you, love. Thank you so much. He's got like this spiritual, like, you know, she stood out to him for a reason. And although he's heard his guides, and although he's maybe had like a bit of a spiritual side to him as well, where he's like, okay, if this person stands out to me, unlike anyone else, I can't help it. Let me go back real quickly and say, remember how we saw her kind of rising to a place of prominence? Let's say, for example, she, as a business owner in her community or something, she's, you know, lots of times local businesses get local plugs, you know, a little write up in the newspaper or something, or he's, you know, he's gone by her shop, or he's seen her at the whatever, you know, like a business breakfast club meeting, you know, a commerce meeting or something. You know, it could be something like that where he knows who she is. He knows what her business is. She's a public figure, but he hasn't approached her for the intent of introducing himself in like the context of dating. But maybe, you know, he kind of can't help but keep tabs on, oh, look at that, her business is doing really well. Every time I, you know, go down that street, I notice that there's tons of cars out there. I see her business is flourishing. You know, sometimes in small communities, just somebody's name and reputation gets around. You know, he knows people that she knows, but he doesn't know her directly, but he knows who she is. He admires her. He knows what she looks like. You know, that's the kind of, you know, admiration and like non-creepy stalking that we're talking about here. But it's been about, when is it the right time for him to approach? And I kind of think that when she does have him approach, I think she's going to find out really swiftly that she'll either intuit the fact that I think he must have known more about me and been interested in me for a while, but it took him a while to approach me. I think she's going to notice the spiritual side in him right out of the gate. I think, yes, there's passion. She'll pick up on that, obviously, but she may also get the sense that there was some, I don't know, some spirituality to him. 9 of Pentacles. Also, I think she might be saying, damn, I'm glad he didn't come forward toward me any sooner, because I'm only just now feeling amazing. I just now feel whole, and like, again, with the crystals with her, right? This is, in this deck, they call it the 9 of crystals instead of the 9 of Pentacles. But again, she's like in this really high vibration, but she just got into that space where she felt single and whole. And that's why I'm thinking that she already has a hint that there's got to be something more to this. There's got to be something to he and I. How would he have known when to approach me? Unless he picks up on, vibrations himself. So I kind of think she's already got a clue in that there's something more going on here. There's some reason that he's drawn to her, and even the timing seems to be too perfect. Like he couldn't have known that I'm just now in this awesome vibrational state and I feel single and whole and complete and happy. But I feel like he does get that. I feel like there's some draw here. To me, in this storyline, we're seeing her acknowledge that, if only to herself. Yeah, we got this Knight of Cups, and we got the Hierophant. And let's not forget, we started out with the Hierophant for her. That was the second card after that card of blessings. This whole storyline seems pretty saturated in like a divine, pull between two people. I do think that she's not going to be thrown off by this. I think she's going to understand because of her own like awakening that she's had. I think she's going to understand that sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction. Sometimes there are things that are hard to quantify, but they exist anyway. Sometimes there's emotions and feelings and attraction across time and space. Sometimes you see somebody and you just know that they're for you, even though you haven't met them. Even if you've only just seen their photo, you go, that person, I don't know what it is, but I know that they're somebody, if I met them, we would have an attraction. I already know that. I think she can believe in things like that. I think she understands things like that. I think she knows why this person was drawn to her, even if it doesn't make any logical sense. I kind of think it's nice because, lots of times we talk about like, like a high priestess. And it's like lots of times it'll be like, oh, this female is super intuitive in our stories, And I never mean it to be gender specific anyway, but we do see a lot of that. This is almost like he's a masculine empath. We don't have a high priestess out for him, but that tattoo across the forehead, his sense of when the time is right, he's very intuitive. And more than anything, he does listen to his, whatever, his guides, his spiritual side. But he's the one who knows when to approach her. And it's interesting because she picks up on that and she's like, this is something really special, isn't it? This is some inexplicable bond. And he knew he was drawn to me and he knew he'd approach me when he felt like the calling to do so. I kind of think that's going to make her feel really special, and really like, she'll be able to understand this from a spiritual context because of the energy she's in. I hope that these two have like a really wonderful outcome. They definitely seem like there's a reason that these two hearts are being called together. Let me just ask, do they have success together? Knight of Wands, they have really great passion and she's down for it. We can see that. What else? Temperance. Yeah, there is something really special between these two. This is somebody whose love story could be very interesting. I have to say, no matter what age she is, we started out by saying she could be somewhere in her middle age, right? 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever. I think she comes across as very youthful. And that's probably part of what we saw in the beginning where her vibration was going so high. I feel like this is somebody who's like kind of like physically is almost looking like she's reversing aging just a bit, because she's in such a high vibrational energy. And I'm just noticing how youthful she looks here. And yet we know she's got to be somewhere in the middle of her book of life. And so that's just another side note. When somebody's vibing really high, their aura is youthful, their vitality is through the roof. There's some really, even here, she's in white in both of these cases, just kind of like that quartz crystal again. I feel like she emanates some kind of like aura of vitality and youthfulness. But I was asking, do these two have like a successful union together? And it says what maybe starts out with, she's excited and feels passionate and feels so good to have somebody who noticed her, who kept her on his mind, and then who approached her when he felt the time was right. Somebody who's been so intuitively attached to her energy is like such a sexy thing to her, I think. In fact, I don't really know that we've had a storyline like this before on my channel, where the masculine is like synced up with her energy and is waiting for the right, like message from the divine or the right frequency shift so that he knows when to move toward her. But I mean, it's very much him being pulled toward her. I think it's going to make her feel like $1,000,000 to have somebody that drawn to her. I'm wondering if in the past she might have been really drawn to somebody and thought a lot about them, but I don't know that she's had that in return. This could be one of the other things that has shifted and changed in her. She's a master attractor now. And I think that feels really, really good. But I think these two are going to give each other both what they need, the reassurance, the companionship, the friendship, the balance. I think she'll make him feel really wanted in return. This feels like a lot of passion, and it feels like it's a shared energy, but this is very exciting and very different. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave this one here. Thank you guys so much. I so appreciate you guys being kind enough to pop back in to this video. Like I said at the beginning, if you want to hear the original, it only took me 2 minutes to recap in this video, whereas the original was like 8 minutes long with dog barking to get the same 2 minutes out. But if you want to see how those original cards got pulled out, you can watch that. There is a free link there in the description box. Just know the Aries will start barking at like the last minute of that video. All right, you guys. So good to see you. Hi, Tarek. Oh, don't you worry, darling. We're not going to test anybody on their spelling. Don't even worry about it. We know what you said. Hi, Laura. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Victoria Knox, great to catch you. Super Thought, how are you, love? I love that emoji. Is that, it's a genie, right? Coming out of a bottle. That's awesome. Charlotte V, right back to you, love. Decoded, how are you? Hi, Samira. Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you so much, Decoded. Thank you for reminding me. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up, you guys. That really does help the channel. I so appreciate that. Thanks again, Sabrina. You sweetheart. Hi, Echo. Hi, Mon. Miss So the Peaceful Observer. Thank you. I think you're in good company. I think probably that's such a relatable comment that you just made. So Miss Peaceful the Observer. Sorry. So Miss So the Peaceful Observer. Oh my gosh. I'm doing word salad tonight. Forgive me. Elsa MC, hi. Kyle Wolf, thank you for being here. Hi, Maureen. Happy Monday to you. It's not quite Monday where I'm at, but happy Monday to you, love. I'll see you guys when it's officially Monday in my time zone, though. I'll see you guys in the members corner. Italian Stallion. Hi, Kim. Thank you for joining me again, honey. Thalia, hi, sweetie. Denise, you were first in the house. And 11:8, great to catch you. And Denise said, thank you. That's so kind of you that you don't mind his barking. I just know sometimes it gets really like distracting for my ear. It's probably because, I think of myself as his mama. And so I'm like, okay, what is it that is so, annoying to him right now? And his bark, you know how they say like moms can hear their babies cry and they know if it's like a distress cry or if it's a hungry cry or something. He was like really on guard with that bark. Like that's my mama registry was like, as he was barking, I was like, okay, I don't think he's going to stop anytime soon. That bark he's fending something off on the other side of the door. And I'm like, oh, Aries, come on now. Anyway, you guys, thanks again for hanging out. Mama Jamila, great to see you. You guys are so awesome. Thanks, Victoria. All right, everybody. I will see you guys again. I'm going to do still ophiuchus tonight and Sagittarius. If I can get to Aquarius tonight, I will still do that also, but definitely have to get to at least 2 out of those 3. Hi, Alana. Great to see you, love. All right, you guys. I'll see you in just a bit. Bye.